Hello, I'm romance author Lori Thorne. I'm currently working on my 5th and 6th novels simultaneously, and things are great and it's a good time writing. So welcome to my weekly vlog where I go over my word counts, productivity, things that got in my way, crazy Google searches, and just sometimes advice. It's a ride. I'm so glad you're here. We will do the weekly rundown and then I will tell you my 3 favorite lines from this week and you can tell me which one is your favorite in Vote Your WIP at the end, or you can use my little timestamps and jump right there if that's what you're here for. Let's do the weekly rundown. On Monday, I did 562 words in Dirty Hands and 640 in occult accounts. I had no notes. It must have been a very basic day of writing because I have no notes, just the number. On Tuesday, I did only 476 words in Dirty Hands, and I do have notes. It was because I was having this really hard time figuring out what Luke was going to do as a small gift, small action, some way to impress Fiona, because the situation was they were going to be meeting later in the week for like a date time, but they were going to see each other before then, and he wanted to capitalize on that. And I was like, well, how would Luke do that? And I kept on coming up with chump ideas. Anyway, it threw me for a loop, but I did figure it out by Wednesday, and I did 999 words in Dirty Hands. I Googled the strawberry season in North Carolina. If you've never eaten North Carolina strawberries, you go do that like immediately. And I did 547 words in occult accounts, and I Googled pizza in Auckland. On Thursday, I did 1,052 words in Dirty Hands, and it was just banter. My notes literally say, my God's the banter. It was so nice. Fiona and Luke have amazing banter. And in fact, so much so that Luke notices it. And it's one of the things that he starts to really fall for about Fiona. Like, she cannot not. She's so down to earth. She's amazing. And finally, Friday, today, I did 660 words in Dirty Hands. Again, I Googled the black sheets that go, plastic sheeting that go in strawberry farms, if you've ever been one. And I learned that that's called plastic mulch because it does kind of the same jobs as traditional mulch, in my mind anyway, would do for water conservation, for insect and weed repellent. So plastic mulch, now you know. And how to freeze dry things, which, side note, freeze dryers, very expensive. Like, I kind of was just going in, I don't know any about this clearly, but I was like, well, food dehydrators, you can just buy one for like a couple $100. Ooh, not freeze dryers. No, sir. Those things are thousands of dollars. Amazing. Anyway, the end of the week brought us here. 3,749 words in Dirty Hands, and we're in chapter 28. The chapters are getting lengthier in Dirty Hands because the banter has begun. We've reached past the setup phase for the most part, and now things are really happening. And 1,187 words, we're still in chapter 13 for occult accounts. Things are about to start happening in occult accounts too. I can't wait. All right, now it's time to vote your WIP. I'm going to tell you my 3 favorite lines. They're all from Dirty Hands because, let's face it, we just had a lot more writing in that book this week. And you tell me which is your favorite in the comments. Let me know. Line number 1. To be honest, I didn't need the plot after seeing the title. Chopping Mall was a must-see. Line number 2. Her eyes rolled back at the sweet taste, setting my imagination off in a much less innocent direction. And line number 3, modern day sensibilities be damned. I wanted to pay and it made sense that I should. Let me know. See you next week.